It's so quick for people working with a entrepreneurial woman to say she is micromanaging, or she wants over communication, or she thinks she knows more than me kind of thing, right? The assumptions that people make, and we're almost so scared that we're going to be stereotyped in a certain way that I found myself over explaining myself, over apologizing, questioning like everything that I was doing and saying. Like, did I act like in that meeting like I knew more than they did? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, why would they, say that? And then I'm like, maybe we should review the video and all this. Like, I went out of my way. And the truth is, had the same meeting between men and men, those stereotypes and accusations would have never come up. And a man would never doubt himself and say, was I overly explaining? Am I over communicating with these vendors or whatever? It's like, as women, I mean, and this is I do think this is more of a women issue than a men issue. We are constantly questioning ourselves because of the negative stereotypes were constantly being put upon us in a variety of roles that we serve. So it's interesting how this whole self-trust that we have as people, man, woman, but we're just using being female as an example, is really important. And it bleeds over into every role we have in our lives, whether we're the patient, we're the doctor, we're the teacher, we're the mother, we're the wife, right? Like, it constantly comes in. It's constantly nipping on us the whole time that we can't trust ourselves.
This very specific story about eyelashes ends up having such an impact because it's everybody's story, right? It's relatable. Not everyone has had eyelash extensions go wrong, but we all know as humanity, as humans, we all know those feelings of self-doubt, those feelings of being in an unequal relationship where there's a power structure and they're saying everything's fine, and that self-doubt, and then the questioning and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's universal. So you can take such a very specific story and universally everybody understands what you're talking about because we've all experienced the same thing.
When I look at somebody, there's always 3 sets of data. Okay, number 1, past medical history, first set of data. Second set of data is your current symptoms. Third set of data is then your blood, your tests, or whatever the data is. But people think that the answer is this. That's only 1/3 of the story. You're flying blind now. So sometimes people think, if I just get that test, that's all I need. And I'm like, no. I want to hear all 3 sets of data and then educate you. And then we put this together and say, what's the hidden pattern here? What's going on? This is why yesterday we had our meeting with my Thyroid Masterclass. Vivian was on freaking fire.
He was so fun.
Oh my gosh.
Fun.
Well, and she was like, because she said, I was like, I love asking for feedback at the end. And she said, at the end, she goes, I want to share with everybody that this was so exciting. This was so much fun. I never thought working with a doctor on my thyroid, I would learn so much and it would impact all my family. I was listened and we laughed. There's music.
It's a different experience. It really is. Because you think you're coming into this program too, and it's going to be potentially sad, depressing, scary to talk about these things. That is not the vibe at all. And it's nice to have a different culture surrounding it, because then you feel like it's not scary to talk about these things. It's not depressing to talk about these things. There is a path forward and everybody else is dealing with it. That's exactly what you needed, Dr. Maggie, in your crisis involving eyelashes, but on a larger scale too. It's what so many of us need as we are facing issues with our health and well-being.
So I'm going to say, any of you out there that are dealing with POTS, long haul, dysautonomia, vertigo, right? You know what I'm talking about, where your blood pressure, your heart rate's going nutso, you're getting nowhere with your doctors. We have a multi-part training series for POTS, dysautonomia, and long haul. I did a multi-part training about this, and a lot of people don't know jack about it. I'd rather you hear from me and you learn about this. Can I tell you the final result of all this?
What happened?
The final result was, I looked at fake eyelashes and I went and found at Target, I think it's called Eyelash was the brand, and they were the thinnest band, the thinnest little lashes. And I'd never seen other ones that were like that. And then I said, I'm going to try this. And then I actually learned to put fake eyelashes on that were just the right amount, size with whatever.
Something you thought you couldn't do.
And it was no problem. I actually learned how to do it right. That's the thing, is we assume the solution is the eyelash extensions, when all along it was, I never really learned. I never had someone really talk me through or mentor me on how to choose the right fake eyelashes and put them on. I put them on like two or 3 days before the wedding. They were so wonderful. They literally felt like my own eyelashes. I wore them at the rehearsal dinner. I wore it at the wedding, and they were freaking beautiful. And the most important thing was I didn't want to spend my wedding worrying about my eyes or eyelashes. It has nothing to do with it. The real outcome I was looking for was I wanted to look, feel beautiful and loved. And you know what? By gosh darn it, that's what I felt the entire day on Saturday during my wedding. I felt beautiful. I felt loved. I felt confident. I felt trusting and trustworthy.
It was a magical day, and you got exactly what you wanted, and you listened to your instincts, and that's really the reason why.
And that's the biggest lesson of all. At the end of all of this, no matter whether it's a beauty adventure or misadventure, or a health adventure or misadventure, the final thing that you're really seeking literally is love and joy. Love, joy, and connection. That's what we all want. So for me, like, that's the result. Love, joy, and connection. Keep that as the focus. That's the result and outcome you really need. And then take the lessons today, and I hope you run with it. And I would love for our team to talk to as many of you as possible and see what's going on with you and see if we can help. To figure out the root cause that's underlying your chronic disease or symptom, click the link above or below this video and register for the training. We'll see you there.